speed of touch, something like Chopin scherzo. These times, it's a little bit of combination of both, but we don't want to be going, we're not putting arm weight into it. Bit of speed of touch we need, and I always call it the grasp and release. The release is in fact almost more important than the grasp. The word grasp, again, might have rather negative connotations. We're not trying to grasp with tension, but just we do need, or even when we have these series of chords, we do need to grasp because we don't have time to beating anything. Grasp and release, and then the last one, again, grasp and release. So the grasp and release works quite well when we are trying to play and to bring bright sound with the speed of touch. The arm weight, on the other hand, for example, even as early as Beethoven's Pathétique on the modern piano, we do want to employ quite a bit of that weight into the sound. And again, with this, it's very important to make sure that we release without pushing into the keys further, so no pushing in, no digging into the keys. That becomes more important because we've got the arm weight already going in. It's very easy to keep pushing into the keys. So to avoid that, we need to make sure that we go back to that state of relaxation and that balance where there's just enough weight, just enough strength to go to make sure that the keys are held down. And I do believe in having the notes down when the piano is sounding. There are effects, there are moments when I may rely on the pedal, but by and large I always like to make sure, even when I finish a soft piece, I would keep the pedal down, but with the fingers as well, not tense of course, and then take everything off together rather than I'm finished and then just take the pedal off. I like to combine the two actions together. Now, the combination of both becomes very important as well. Something like the opening of the second concerto of Rachmaninoff, we start off quite softly. So even for this, we have the sense of weight going in, but not so much yet. A little bit of stroking motion works very nicely. And gradually we feel the sound growing. So we add a bit of arm weight. But here, when the A natural comes in, I always feel there's a ray of sunshine coming in. So here I add a bit of speed as well. And there's still a long way to go. So more weight and speed as well. And finally, and throughout all that, no tension at all. It's purely the arm weight and the speed of touch where I do that grasp and release. Because I release instantly, as I said at the beginning, if I'm completely relaxed, I won't be able to do any of that. I am actually employing tension, but releasing instantly afterwards to make sure that the sound doesn't become ugly. Now, it is a strange thing that even if I push afterwards, what difference is it actually going to make? Once I play, it really shouldn't. But in fact, the whole approach is what results in the sound, and that's why we don't want to dig into the keys. Possibly.
But we've got to start with the child's inner musical desire and clarifying that. So, for example, if they're playing a little piece, let's imagine that they were learning, because I've got it here, this Bergmuller arabesque. Now we notice that it starts with A minor chords in the left hand, which then change into D minor chord, a D minor chord over an A. We could just take those chords and we could say, could you learn those two chords and make sure that you can play them without looking at music? And hold each one for 4 counts. 2, 3, 4, 1. Now, while you're doing that, you could say, I'm going to just improvise. I'm going to play up and down the A minor 5-finger position. Now I'm going to play a little bit of swing rhythm. Long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long. Now I'm going going to start from the top. Now it's your turn to take the right hand, you could say to your pupil, while you take the left hand. And by the end of the lesson, they can then do a little improvisation. Now, if you transpose that to a different position, it'll sound very cool in, for example, the Dorian scale, white notes from D to D, where we can do a D minor and play the same next chord position, but it's got that more edgy sound because we're now going from a minor chord to a major chord. 2, 3, 4. 1. And so on. So there are a number of very, very, very simple things you can do with 2 alternate chords. And of course, coordination is a problem with pupils at first. That's why the teacher takes one hand and the pupil takes the opposite hand until they're able to coordinate. And that's why at first you just play in time with the pulse at first until you get into that coordination thing.
So yeah, when we're playing this piece, it's absolutely beautiful. It's F sharp minor. And I always think that this could be somebody that's looking back on their life, remembering a time with somebody, a beautiful, a kind of sad melancholy in the character, but remembering really happy times with somebody. And then when they get onto that second little phrase, that lovely counter melody in the left hand is so beautiful, the chromaticism with it. But using that, thinking about how that chromaticism there and the intensity of the chromaticism makes a much stronger kind of memory of whatever the person who's thinking about it is. What is it that they're remembering at that point? It might be a special time in their lives together. And then it's cadencing into the major. So it's obviously that. So I think of an old man remembering happy times with his wife, but then after it's cadenced, then he's thinking, but where is she? She's gone. And then you get the main theme coming up an octave. That beautiful F sharp minor, and it's just the main theme, just transposed up an octave. It's no different, but it's so much more sad, it's so much more reflective, and I think it's important to compare what we're doing here with how we played. So maybe the first one could be a little bit deeper, a little bit more sonorous, deeper into the keys, making a bit more of a more beautiful sound. And then this one could be a more kind of floating, ethereal kind of sound. And then as we carry on, just jumping a little bit, get this passionate, this beautiful cadence into F sharp major here again. He's just thinking, you know what, yeah, she's gone. I haven't got her in my life anymore, but you know what, we had some good times together. It's that kind of idea.